home. So back home again, and my second home in Maryland. Glad to be here, glad to be there, thankful for life and health today. And what would a new day be if you didn't have some adventures going on, right? So let me start out by saying good morning to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, thank you, sir, for getting me here to the radio station with 30 minutes to spare, just enough time for a person like me to get into the radio station, to get that computer warmed up, to check and see what's going on in our world. And in fact, before I come to the radio station every morning, I am up and at it at home. I was on the computer. I was checking out the news, switching the channels to see what was going on before I even left Mount Airy this morning to get to the radio station. And yes, I did start out driving this morning in my daughter's vehicle. And I'm driving along. I'm still in Mount Airy, and all of a sudden the car is rumbling and shaking. I'm like, uh-oh, because there was a tire issue 2 days ago when I first got back to Philly, and yep, it was the tire as flat as it could be. Luckily for me, I was right by a gas station at Rittenhouse and Wissahickon Street, so I shook on into the gas station over to the air piece and to get some air, and I got out of the car to look at the tire, and oh, it was not pretty. It wasn't pretty at all, folks. I mean, that tire was jacked up, so there was no putting air in the tire. I'm looking at my watch. It's not enough time to, get somebody to change the tire and so on and so forth. So I'm like, oh, but here we go. Thank you, Lord. I'm not going to complain. It could be so much worse. I could be on the highway and this could happen. So, you try to look at the good even in a headache of a situation. And I just got my cell phone out and hit the Uber app. And I got an Uber and locked the car up and left it right there with all of my Allegheny West neighborhood newspapers. Yep, hot off the presses, came in yesterday. Our April-May edition of the Allegheny West newspaper, which I'm very proud of. I'm the managing editor for this newspaper. It is a community newspaper designed specifically for one area of North Philadelphia, the Allegheny West neighborhood of North Philadelphia. And this newspaper, we started it in 2013. It is the brainchild of Ronald E. Hinton, Jr., the president of Allegheny West Foundation, and I am the managing editor of the paper, and this is what we do. This paper only comes out like 4 or 5 times a year, so it's not like our wonderful Scoop USA community newspaper that I've been writing for like 40 years now, 40 years of writing for a community newspaper, the Scoop, and I write for the Philadelphia Sunday Sun newspaper, and I love my Sunday Sun very much also, but so the Allegheny West is not like these other papers that come out regularly every week. This comes out like 4, 5, 6 times a year, and we're trying to build it up to be even more, but it's all about community and supporting the small business owners in our community. So this will be hitting a lot of doors and stores over the next couple of days. But anyway, so I had this car situation this morning. I got the Uber, got in here. Ibrahim, thank you for getting me here safely in one piece and with a half an hour to spare. So I got here and jumped right into doing what I do in preparation for the show. We do have a guest coming up at 6:30 this morning. I'm excited. We're going to be talking with Lynn Carter. She is a boxing judge, African-American woman, one of very few women boxing judges in the nation, and she came on board doing that back in 1982, and I'm going to let her tell her story when she calls in at 6:30 this morning, okay? And then I said yesterday we were going to have Tuesday tips with the Honorable President Judge Thomasine Tynes, and I got all jammed up yesterday with good stuff, talking about important information, the fact that April is Sexual Abuse Awareness Month, and so I did not get to get Judge Tynes in yesterday, but she is going to check in with us this morning at about 6:45 or so, and to talk about some traveling tips this morning, and so I look forward to that. But I got here. God is good. God got my executive producer, Kawesa Mathis, here. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Tonight, there's 2 community meetings I know about. I'll tell you about them in a moment. But right now, I see Brother Ron. He stands out there on the line. And good morning to you, Brother Ron.
Yeah, good morning. I'll leave that up to you, but I'll just say it this way. With all the meetings that's going on, and thank you for making the announcement that the representatives are having meetings. I certainly hope the representatives, as you have your meetings around the city, get some elders that be willing to serve. And Sharif have one. We're going to be out this morning, about 12 o'clock, one of the elders going to be out encouraging people to come out and participate in what his community has to offer. So once again, I certainly hope that, and what WRD is saying is very well, the ad they have on WRD, voting and participating, you know, and that is Thera, and I'll let you talk about this later on. Thera, what President Trump is trying to do with that border, blocking that border, and like that there, it's going to affect all the finance of this country. So we have a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen. Please get involved. We can make a difference. Each one, remember this. Remember these. God have always used ordinary people like people in WRD to make a difference in this world and in this country. Thank you, Sarah. So I'll let you make the announcement of the things that's going to take place today. Hope to see you real soon, my friend. Bye.
Oh, I'm going to see you real soon, Brother Ron. Your name was mentioned a bunch of times last night at the meeting where I was, and it was good mentions, by the way. You should know, Brother Ron. It was good mentions about you, positive mentions about Brother Ron. And I'm so glad that Brother Ron is back with us on this show, calling in from time to time, every other day or so, sharing information. Because the reality is, guess what? We all have something important to share, all of us. Some of us do it in different kinds of ways. Some of us use the power of radio to share the information that we have, and that's okay. That's what we're here for. And others of us share information by handing out a flyer. Others of us will go on social media and do it that way because they don't want to be on the radio. Brother Ron chooses to do a lot of his sharing on the radio, but he'll get out in the community, see, and he'll get that megaphone of his, and he'll show up and he'll do sharing on that megaphone. So he's got his way of doing things. We all have our way of doing things. But most of all, I just am glad to have him back. So I'll just say that and leave it at that. And thank you for calling in, Brother Ron. So, yeah, tonight, our Pennsylvania State Senator Sharif Street Esquire. Thank you, Kawesa. She gets me set up, I tell you. Tonight, State Senator Sharif Street Esquire, he is co-hosting a community meeting to address community concerns regarding city and state services. He's co-hosting with Philadelphia City Council President Darrell Clark and also with Pennsylvania State Representative Malcolm Kenyatta. And that's going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Philadelphia Military Academy High School. That's at 2118 North 13th Street. 13th is Susquehanna. And the city service departments that will be on hand: the 22nd Street District Police, L&I, the Streets Department, Planning Commission, the Commerce Department, that's my department, I like them, Office of Property Assessment, Revenue Department, Philadelphia Parking Authority, and 311. I shouldn't be like that. I should say I love all of Philadelphia departments, right? Okay, except when they tow people's cars. But anyhow, so Senator Sharif Street, he's doing this wonderful community meeting. It is tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. Also tonight, the Allegheny West Foundation and City Councilwoman Cindy Bass, they're having a combined community meeting. That one's going to be at the Panatti Recreation Center, 3101 North 22nd Street. I'll be at that community meeting tonight, and we expect a lot of good stuff is going to come out of that meeting, and we're always excited to have Councilwoman Bass come to our community and to meet with us and to talk about issues at hand. And one of the things is that the Panatti Recreation Center itself, the building, is going to be like redone with this whole rebuild process that's happening for a lot of the oldest of buildings in the city, city-owned public spaces that are eyesores. Well, Panatti Rec Center is one of them, and so that's going to get redone, and community will hear more about that tonight, as well as we'll have representatives from the 39th Police District on hand. And up until a year ago, when I moved outside of Philadelphia, I was a part of the Community Advisory Board for the 39th Police District, and I miss them. I miss the whole team, the whole crew. I miss Philadelphia. I miss all the good parts of Philadelphia. I miss the good parts of Philadelphia. I don't miss the bad parts. But I also have adapted and very much enjoy my new home in Columbia, Maryland. And you know what? It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It is a good thing when you have an opportunity to get a taste of life somewhere different sometimes. Like, who says you got to live in one place your whole entire life and never move and never try anything different? And I actually am one of those people who, for many, many, many years, said, I'm never leaving Philadelphia. I'm going to be here till the day I die. I'm going to stay here. I talked like that up until a year ago. I did. I did say, I'll get a summer home someplace else. If I ever get rich enough, I'll get a summer home, But Philly's going to always be my home. Well, now I'm singing a different song. But I will always think of Philadelphia as home base. My children, my adult children live here. My grandchildren live here. So trust me when I say there's nothing that's going to keep me away from Philadelphia for too long. This is Daybreak on Word, 900 AM, 96.1 FM, WURD. Shouting everybody out this morning. We are up on Facebook Live. Good morning, Nakia Dillard, if you're checking us out this morning. He's a young man that I had on the phone with me, I guess it was a week or so ago. He's an actor who is a working actor who's on shows and TV shows and in movies and stuff that we know about, that we've heard of, like Black Lightning and a number of other shows that I absolutely love. All the shows that he's on, never thinking that I would actually meet one or any of the actors on any of these shows. And lo and behold, along comes Nakia. He is so down to earth, Philadelphia brother, born and bred, who is reaching back and doing stuff in Philly with up and coming wannabe actors and actresses, with children, teenagers, and grown folks too, who want to be in the world of entertainment and acting. And he started his own school in Philadelphia. Really, really interesting brother, very dedicated to his craft, but also dedicated to reaching back and helping others come along and have opportunities. And so one of these days when I'm in Philadelphia again, and I can have him, if he's willing, to get up early and come in studio, I'd love to have him in studio with me so you can not only hear him, but see him. And plus you can see him on TV too, so what the heck. But anyhow, stay with us. We have a great guest coming up at 6:30 this morning. We got Judge Thomasine Tynes coming up at about 6:45. We got a lot going on today at WURD.
The Kimmel Center presents Philadanko, April 12th through 14th. Across the world, Philadanko is celebrated for its innovation, creativity, and preservation of predominantly African-American traditions in dance. This spring's performance features work from acclaimed Philadelphia choreographers Anthony Burrell, Jean Hill Sagan, Rennie Harris, and Dawn Marie Bazemore. Philadanko returns to the Kimmel Center with Dance Philly Style for 4 performances only. For tickets and additional information, visit kimmelcenter.org.
We first opened about 10 years ago. We were small, just a few of us, but it was exciting. I always dreamt of having my own business. It was kind of slow at first, but things started picking up. We had big plans, but in our wildest dreams, we never thought we'd have this much work. Yeah, with so many businesses caught off guard by the storm, Reed Waste Management has never been busier.
What will become of your business after a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Listen live at wordradio.com.
We filmed Pennsylvania adoptive families and asked them why more people need to become foster or adoptive parents.
As a society, we have a responsibility to make sure every kid gets from being a kid to being a responsible adult.
I would encourage anybody to do it. You get so much more out of it than you expect.
Visit adoptpakids.org to watch the video, meet the kids, and learn how you can become a foster or adoptive parent.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
On May 21st, elect Dennis Lee for City Commissioner, former Chief Deputy City Commissioner who fought against the state voter ID law. As City Commissioner, he will focus on voter education, voter registration, and voter participation in order to guarantee access to free and fair elections. Vote for Dennis Lee for City Commissioner, May 21st, paid for by Citizens for Dennis Lee, Miller Parker, Treasurer.
Now back to Daybreak
with Sarah Martin
on onWURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live at wordradio.com.
All right now, good morning, good morning. It was 42 degrees when I left Mount Airy this morning to come to the Fishtown area of the city of Philadelphia. I got to check that weather temperature in just a little bit. I will, and I'll give you a full weather forecast. But here's some of the news stories that have been breaking the headlines since we laid our heads down. Authorities in Chester County have charged a 15-year-old boy with attempted murder after he allegedly shot his friend on Monday. Authorities say the shooting stemmed from a dispute between 3 juveniles who attended a school in Montgomery County. According to the Chester County District Attorney's Office, the trio agreed to meet in Chester County on Monday as the location for a planned fight. That's when police say 15-year-old Raul Castro shot his friend twice. Police say he missed the other student who managed to run away. 30 years ago, this incident would have been a fist fight and nothing else, but the defendant decided to bring a gun to the fight, almost leading to the first Chester County murder of 2019, said Chester County District Attorney Tom Hogan. The 14-year-old male victim was found under a bridge near the river, suffering from a gunshot wound to his abdomen and shoulder. He was transported to an area hospital where he underwent surgery. Police say Castro will be charged as an adult on charges of attempted murder. Stephanie Winvin has 2 sons who go to Pottsgrove High School who know the students involved. I'm extremely upset. I have a freshman and a senior, and I don't know what the world's coming to, she said. The shooting is the second incident involving students in the Pottsgrove, Pottstown area in 9 days. Back on March 24th, Marie Samba says her 13-year-old daughter was having an argument with another 8th grader she attends class with at Pottstown Middle School. And a short time after the argument, someone fired a barrage of bullets into the home. Samba, her husband, and 5 children were in the home, but miraculously, nobody was hit. Castro is currently being held without bail at the Chester County Correctional Facility. And again, our young people, as we talk to them as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and other caretakers of children, as neighbors, as role models for our young people, we got to make them understand that, you know, if you're a hothead and you act before you think, it can ruin your life. It can ruin your life. So I just stay prayerful for all of our young people, but I also talk to them. I had a talk with my grandson yesterday because I picked him up from school. And that's the other beautiful thing about when I come home, I get to sort of do the things that, you know, I was doing before I moved outside of Philly. So I was outside his school waiting for his butt, Mr. now 14 years old, graduating at the end of May and going to high school in September. And he had his cell phone in his hand, and, you know, I'm in the driver's seat, but I saw a flash of something that disturbed me. I said, whoa, let me see that cell phone. And he said, no, Grandma, no. And he's going to hold the cell phone away from me. I said, let me see that cell phone. No, Grandma. I said, was that you kissing a girl on the cell phone? Pictured with that video? So I grabbed the cell phone from him. He says, I deleted it. I said, no, you didn't. I deleted it. I said, I have an iPhone. I know how to operate an iPhone. And even when you delete it, you can pull it back up. Boy, don't fool with me. Give me that phone. So I got the phone. And yes, Grandma was able to pull it back up. And my eyes did not deceive me. And I about had a heart attack. I don't know if coming back to Philly to visit is good for my health or not. Oh, my God. But it's just another reminder to me. And I couldn't get to my daughter fast enough, telling her. And I saw his face sort of look a little crestfallen. And, you know, it's as a grandmom, you know, do you keep secrets with your grandchild from your child? Kwesa says no. And I say no, too. No, you tell, I tell everything. And I want to have a good relationship with all of my grandchildren. And I want my grandchildren to feel like they can talk to grandmom and share anything with me. But at the same time, if I see something that I think parents, their parents, because I'm not the parent, needs to know, I'm going to tell them. And so I felt that my daughter needed to know that her 14-year-old son and my 14-year-old grandson, he knows how to French kiss. Where did he learn how to do that? You know? And so, you know, and I told her, and then she talked with him, because we have to monitor our young people's behavior, and we have to warn them about things. And you know, there are fast boys out here, and there are some fast girls out here. And you have to watch and talk and tell them and preach to your blue black in the face about how to behave and how to conduct themselves. And I said, now, what if the young lady's father happened to have seen that? You're going to have some young lady's father at your mama's door banging, talking about, let me see that young man in that house. Who's that young man and you know, kissing my daughter or whatever. I mean, I'm like, oh, my God. So I just, you know, it's time for me to go back to Maryland, y'all. Let me go now. Let me go now. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Oh, my God. Where my blood pressure pills at? Jesus. But these kids are something else. Yes, they are. Okay, any moment now, we're going to be talking with Lynn Carter. She is a boxing judge, and boy, does she have a story about how she got to be a boxing judge. I cannot wait until she connects with us on our phone line this morning, and we are definitely looking forward to talking with her. And gosh, there's somebody else that I so wish could be on this interview, but she cannot because she is a sitting judge, and I'll say her name, Judge Jacqueline Frazier-Lyde, the Honorable Judge Jacqueline Frazier-Lyde, who, before she was a judge, she was many other things, an attorney at law. In high school, she was a star athlete. She graduated from college, you know, magna cum laude and all that, smart as a whip. And she was a boxer in her own right, because her daddy was the boxing world heavyweight champion Joe Frazier, and he taught her. She learned from the best, and also her husband Pete Lyde, he trained her, Judge Jacqueline Frazier-Lyde, before she was a judge, and so she was in the boxing world for a bit of time and won some bouts too. And it was her that actually connected me with Lynn Carter. And tomorrow, Councilwoman Janie L. Blackwell, if you're out there, maybe you'll call in and put your voice to the mix right quick. Councilwoman Janie Blackwell is going to honor Lynn Carter tomorrow at City Council because she is deserving of the honor, and it's going to be a great day at Philadelphia City Council tomorrow for that opportunity for Miss Lynn Carter to be honored and celebrated and all of that. And so we look forward to that, and I'll be there for that. That'll be the last thing that I do before I get back on the train and head up out of here, because when I come to Philadelphia, it costs me too much money, and I turn around and have to end up doing the Uber thing this time because I didn't drive, and then just, you know, the grandchildren, and just watching them and so on and so forth, and getting involved in their lives and seeing what they're doing and what have you. And it's a lot, Tasha Chalmers. It's a lot, Tasha, talking to these young folks. It is something else. But anyway, another story in the news we wanted to share with you this morning. You may soon have to pay a fee, mind you, to drive on some of Philadelphia's most congested roads. Oh, Philadelphia City Council people, don't let this happen. There are more cars on the city streets now, more than ever before. That, according to Chris Pulaski, the Director of Policy and Strategic Initiatives. Pulaski said Philadelphia's Office of Transportation, Infrastructure, and Sustainability is considering charging drivers who pass through congested roads in sections like Center City or University City, but they're waiting to see how this plan works in New York City. NYC has plans to start charging drivers to enter some of Manhattan's most congested areas at the end of 2020. I don't like the sound of that at all. Usually it's done by scanning your license plate and sending a bill. Oh, God. There are no definitive plans in Philadelphia yet, but Polchaski said he hopes the potential charge would help raise money for public transit and get commuters to ride instead of drive. But some critics have said they have limited access to public transportation, and this potential charge hurts lower-income residents. So we will definitely look and see. We will look and see how that goes in New York, but I don't like the sound of it at all. While no city in the United States has a congested toll in effect at this time, Polchaski pointed to London, Singapore, and Stockholm, where officials have implemented similar plans, they say, successfully. How about that? Another story in the news this morning, the Glen Mills School in Delaware County began layoffs on yesterday after the state ordered the emergency removal of students due to the investigation of abuse allegations. 80 individuals from various departments across the school were notified. In total, 250 individuals will be impacted, officials say. Glen Mills School thanks our employees, many of whom have tirelessly served the school for decades, for their commitment to the school's mission and helping to pave the way to a new path in life for countless young men, school leaders said in a statement. The Department of Human Services said in late March that children residing at the Glen Mills School, about 25 miles west of Philadelphia, will be relocated as soon as this can be safely accomplished. And the department says there were 64 students there, 21 from Pennsylvania and 43 from 8 other states. The Philadelphia Inquirer investigation published last month described a culture of physical abuse at the school. Glen Mills, established back in 1826, didn't immediately return a call seeking comment. Officials said earlier they took the allegations very seriously and were working with state and local leaders. Back in September, 2 former counselors were arrested and charged with assaulting a 17-year-old student. All righty, so now we got to get Lynn Carter on the line here. I'm going to try to find her right now, and I do have her phone number. I'm trying to pull it up, and I think I have it. There it is. So she will answer her cell. Where are you, Lynn Carter? Oh, she was so excited when I talked to her yesterday as a follow-up to a number of conversations that we've had building up to this chat on the radio that we're supposed to be doing right now. She's 6 minutes behind schedule, and I'm going to talk to Judge Thomasine Tynes this morning. We're not going to put her off today, so our time with Lynn Carter is growing shorter and shorter by the second. Well, while celebrating her victory and becoming the first African-American woman picked to lead Chicago, Lori Lightfoot thanked the city and those who blazed the trail for her victory. We may be strangers, but in this room, in this city, we are all neighbors, she told a cheering crowd. Following her win, Lightfoot faced a historic runoff Tuesday against Toni Preckwinkle, who is also an African-American woman. Now that it's over, I know that we will work together for the city that we both love, Lightfoot said at her campaign celebration. Today, you did more than make history. You created a movement for change, she told her followers. They were going to remake Chicago home to 2.7 million people. Now we're going to take the next steps together, she said. Together we can, and we will finally put the interests of our people, all of our people, against the interests of a powerful few. So, Chicago has a new mayor that was elected last night, an African-American woman. Woo-woo! All the best to her. We're wishing her well. We're going to be praying for her and her new leadership of the Windy City. And so that's great. That's great news. That's great news indeed. All right, let's jump right to it. We do have Lynn Carter on the line right now. Good morning, Miss Lynn. How are you?
Good morning, Sarah. I'm fine.
All right. We're glad to have you on the line. Tomorrow is your big day as you get celebrated down at Philadelphia City Council, huh?
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now, for our listening audience sake, tell us, how did you get yourself into the middle of the boxing world? How did it get started?
Well, it got started with me going to the fights when I was young with 4 brothers, you know, and I would always pick the winner. So they said I was good at it. And so when I was on leave of absence from the union with Earl Stout.
Earl Stout?
Yeah, I was on leave. I worked for him, and I loved working for Earl. Anyway, when I was on leave of absence with him, I decided I had to get a new job, and I didn't want to go back to my regular city job. So I said, since they said I'm good with boxing, let me try it. And I went to the athletic commission, and they gave me the material I needed. And then I said, well, where am I going to go to train? And I had said Percy Richardson, but I didn't even know where his gym was. So then I decided, well, let's go up to Joe Frazier's gym. And that's what I did. I went up to his gym, walked in there, and said I want to speak to Joe Frazier. That was funny. When I think about it now, it's funny. And then the first, first he
May I ask, Lynn, how old were you at that point when you went to Joe Frazier's gym talking about, I want to see Joe Frazier?
I was in my early 20s.
What?
Yeah, I was in my early 20s.
Okay, and gorgeous.
That's funny.
And gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was cute.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Still cute today. Out. Still cute today. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And so he came out and he said, I don't like judges, I don't like referees, and I don't like announcers. He said, well, asked me why did I come to him. I said, well, they say you're the best, and I want to be trained by the best. That's why I came to you. And he said, okay, I'll train you. You know, and said, because he didn't train judges.
Right.
He trained boxers.
Right.
Okay. And at that time, his gym was very, very popular. Everybody was going to his gym. You know, Butch Lewis, Michael Spinks, Larry Holmes. Oh, not Larry Holmes, but a lot of other big fighters were going up there at the time. And so he decided to train me, and that's where it is. That's where it started.
Was he hard on you during that time period when he was sort of teaching you about what it took to be a boxing judge?
Well, he wasn't easy, you know, but Joe was Joe. You know, I don't think he was any harder on me than he was on a guy. He didn't treat me any different because I was a female, you know. He made me get in a ring with him. He made me throw punches. And as I would throw punches, so he would show me, you know, what good punch, bad punch. He basically taught me the basics of boxing. Okay. He said, I only know how to fight. So, and that's what I did. I got in the ring with him, and we did what we had to do.
Wow.
So it was great. It was a great learning experience.
Now, what did your brothers, you got 4 brothers, what did they think about their sister all of a sudden going from being a spectator watching boxing matches when you would go to boxing matches with them to being a boxing judge? What kind of comments were they making during this time period?
Well, no, I don't have 4 brothers. It was 4 brothers.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It was 4 brothers that I went with.
Okay.
And, one of them happened to be my boyfriend.
Okay.
And so that's what happened with that. But they were like fight fans. They didn't miss no fight. You know what I'm saying? So they were fight fans. And I don't think they saw nothing of it, you know, when I went on to do that. So that's what happened with that. And then, I just kept doing it and doing it. And, you know, I would still go with them. You know, and then I started going with other people.
Yeah, but now this happened at a time period when were there a good number of women who were boxing judges in 1982? Because that's when all of this was happening for you, right? That was the golden year.
Right. It wasn't hardly any women. It was one woman who was the first woman, Carol Polis. Okay, she was the first female in boxing, and she was from Philly. And then
black or white?
She was a white lady. And then it was another person training, Adelaide Triplett, and then it was myself. And so I wound up getting my license very, very quickly.
So you were licensed in Pennsylvania first?
Yes.
Okay.
But my goal was to get to New Jersey because that's where all the big fights were.
Really? Oh, casinos.
The casinos. That was my goal, and I got licensed here in 3 months because a representative from the athletic commission would come up to the gym, and then they would check with Val. Val was the trainer at the gym, and he would check with Val to see how I was doing because I had to judge the sparring round. And then after him coming up 3 months, and he might come 2, maybe 3 times a week to check on me, and then talk to Val, talk to Joe. And then I was able to get my license and start judging in Philly. And then my goal, like I said, was New Jersey. And I got down to New Jersey in September.
Okay.
So I was done in 6 months.
Now, when I think about boxing, and forgive me to anybody if I offend them by saying this, but I'm going to say it, and y'all can beat me up if you want to. I've more often than not thought of boxing as a man's world, and certainly boxing judges and boxing referees as a man's world for so many years. So to have women enter into this world and to be taken seriously and to get respect, how tough was it?
Well, let me just say, in the beginning, it was tough. Okay, because men didn't. I shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyway. They didn't have the respect for women, and it is a man's world. Okay, it's like I remember when I used to judge in Atlantic City, they would have them Tuesday night fights at Tropicana, and oh my God, you hear people say little things in the background. What she know? what does she know? What's that young girl doing up there? What does she know about boxing or fighting and stuff like that?
And then you're little and small. On top of that, like my producer over here, I could see her in the middle of a boxing ring. Yeah, they would be calling her, what's she know, that little girl?
Yeah, they didn't, you know, because I was young.
Yeah.
So they didn't think that you knew what you were doing. Okay? And so it wasn't until, you know, later when I myself actually gained the respect of the man, it really made me feel that now I'm accepted. You know what I'm saying? Because I know when I was down in Atlantic City, I had to sit down the ringside by myself. They wouldn't allow me to go upstairs to the room where everybody sat and came down. A lot of times they were like a little cold. You know what I'm saying? I know one time the what's his name? Roy Johnson. He was the chief inspector, and I had made a mistake or something. Oh no, I had an even round, and instead of him waiting until the round, you know, the fight was over, he came right up to me right then and said, "Why'd you score that even round?" You know, and I had like 3 more fights to go. So you know, that made me very nervous because I said, "Darn it," you know, he was rough on me. I guess he probably was rough on everybody, but I know he was rough on me. So it wasn't easy in the beginning. But once you're accepted, and they said, "Oh, this girl knows what she's doing," then it was,
you were off to the races.
Off to the race.
Well, I am just so excited for you and about you, and you have some history to tell. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but you will be celebrated by Philadelphia City Councilwoman Janie L. Blackwell tomorrow at Philadelphia City Council session, and I will be there. There's going to be a whole lot of people there cheering you on, your family, your friends, and people from the boxing world, and I just want to say in advance of tomorrow, congratulations. You deserve it. You're being inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame for Pennsylvania in May. You've already been inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame in New Jersey, so you got it going on, Miss Lynn Suzette Carter, and I salute you, and we will see you on tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right. God bless now. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And thank you. Bye-bye. This is Daybreak on Word, 900 AM, 96.1 FM, WURD. When we come back from this break, guess what? We're going to get some travel tips from Judge Thomasine Tyne. Stay with us.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Councilman Alan Dom is building a brighter future for Philadelphia's children, fighting for more school funding, raising funds to support tech education, and personally donating to teach computer coding at Coded by Kids. Listen to Coded by Kids instructor Ashley and CEO Sylvester Mobley.
There are a lot of kids that will have a brighter future thanks to Alan Dom and his contributions to Coded by Kids.
Having Alan Dom make a commitment to transforming people's lives through technology has helped us. I can't thank Alan Dom enough.
Fundraising to teach computer coding, personally donating thousands. Alan Dom is fighting to give our children the opportunities they deserve and preparing them for success. Big ideas, big achievements. A better city for all of us. Vote Alan Dom, Democrat for City Council at large. Paid for by Alan Dom for City Council.
Need a new mattress? Stop by to see Julian, the Mattress Man, located at 7421 Stenton Avenue. You deal directly with the owner, Julian, to ensure the best prices on name brand mattresses like Sealy, Posturepedic. Call 215-424-5550. That's 215-424-5550.
Support independent black media and join the 4Word movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
The National Association of University Women presents a youth conference, April 13th at Impact Your World in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Topics include cyberbullying, financial aid, and youth entrepreneurship. Visit 2019 NAUW-youthconference.eventbrite.com.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Delays building out there this morning, getting busy southbound 95 now from Coppin Avenue down through Girard northbound side. Still no issues. Westbound buying delays 95 to Broading Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway. Schuylkill eastbound delays around the curve to Belmont, again Montgomery through Girard, westbound University through South and Jamaica City out to Belmont. Turnpike and the Bluebird still in pretty good shape overall this morning. 422 eastbound delays Oakson through 23. Southbound Boulevard, Route 1 busy, Ridge Avenue in through the Schuylkill Expressway. Looking at 42 northbound, you're going to find that getting heavy from 168 through 295. 55 jam northbound, Deptford in the 42. Bridges in Philadelphia look pretty good so far. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance. Liberty Mutual customizes your coverage, so you can only pay for what you need. Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote, and you could save. For more traffic information, log on to SigAlert.com. I'm Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now back to Daybreak with Sarah Martin on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live at wordradio.com.
And we're back. We're back. If you just rolled over and opened your eyes up, you rubbing your eyelids, and you're like, oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, I got to get up. You're supposed to be working 7. You are in trouble, because guess what? You got 10 minutes to get yourself together and get to work up. You're going to be late. May as well call now, send a text message, whatever. Let the boss know. I'm running a little late today. All right. I'm glad to be here, and good morning to you. Good morning, and I just say, good morning, God. Thank you for waking me up. Even if you are late, just, oh well, go with it and get there as soon as you can. But be safe. Be safe on your way. Judge Thomasine Tynes, she stands by on my newsmaker line, and she is a well-traveled woman who has experienced many things in life. I find her to be very, very smart, highly intelligent, and she knows about a lot of different things. And yes, she does know about traffic issues and traffic laws and all of that, but she knows about some other things too. And so today, Judge Tynes is going to give us a couple of tips on travel things that we should think about and be aware of. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Sarah. How are you today?
I am well today, and thank you so much for forgiving me for yesterday and having to sort of move things around a little bit, but you are so gracious and so kind, and I appreciate you for that.
You know, old folks get up early in the morning anyway, so I'm up at 6 o'clock and stuff. Matter of fact, at 4 o'clock sometimes I read all my newspapers.
Yes.
I get them every day. I get the Inquirer, the News, I get the, Sunday, so all those things, so I have a chance to read some.
Yes.
Start early in the morning. But I called to tell you there was a lady called me. A lot of people call me all the time for any kind of advice about anything, especially when it comes to license or travel. And a lady called me and said she was traveling the other day, and she had a problem with her license when she went to the airport. And the gentleman told her she needs to look at it to see about getting it changed due to the fact that it seems that starting now, it's not mandatory, but it's almost in Pennsylvania, I think in the beginning of the October this year. If you're traveling internationally, you're going to have, if you have a passport, it's not a problem. But traveling domestically, they want you to get something called a real ID license. And that is something that, I looked into, and because, like I said, I have traveled not like, in the United States. But they told me, I went and investigated, how I do. It seems that if you're going to be traveling anywhere out of the United States, don't care where it is, if you have a passport, it's fine. But a lot of people don't have a passport. But they're going to require you to have what is called a real ID at the airport to show to travel within the United States for some reason. So I want everybody to know that. Don't be shocked. This lady, they did let her aboard the plane, but the gentleman explained to her that eventually that ID will not be any good. Her license. They'll give you another license. It's going to have more information on it. And also, people like to look into, if you're traveling, another friend of mine had some experience. If you travel and have a lot of luggage, make sure you keep your medicine with you, because if your suitcase gets lost or somehow you miss a flight and gets on to another flight, it can be a problem. So always, sometimes it's not expensive to get travel insurance. Travel insurance is very inexpensive, but it helps you anytime you get a problem with another country, even with scheduling, or if you lose your medicine, you can get reimbursed if you have to go to another pharmacy, or you become ill, you'll be able to put first passenger you can get to be on an airplane to go back to where you are. So it's really important. I think a lot of us don't even think about it as about getting travel insurance. I know a place called AIG. AIG, they do that. Sometimes a travel agent can refer you, but sometimes they don't. So, especially the people, now everybody gets their tickets and stuff over the internet, so
right.
They go to a travel agent. So I just want to give some of those tips out that people have called me. And for some reason, people just know. People have my number or my email, and they just call, Judge Don, you know so. And I said, well, look, I don't know, but I guess I'll get back to you. And matter of fact, Sister Haraya, I got back to her.
Good.
She's called me back, and I'll get back to her again.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm glad that you're willing to share information like that. We appreciate it so very much. And now you have really piqued my interest on this special ID card for those traveling inside the United States. I'm going to dig a little bit further. I haven't heard anything about that. I would have thought that your driver's license, official state driver's license from whatever state that might be from, would be good enough. But I do encourage people, those who can afford it, to get a passport. I got my passport renewed in 2018, and you know what? I can't believe I don't remember right now how much it costs, but it costs.
And you know what? I found that this new ID cost too. It cost her, I think, $65. The new license, because she said, yeah.
And I want to say that the passport was over $100 some odd dollars too, just to get that. And it was a process. It took more than about 5-6 weeks before my passport actually came back in the mail to me. But it's a good thing to have, and once you have it, it's good for 10 years, and you do all your traveling, and then people don't have to look at you cockeyed crazy if you're just pulling out, a high but your college ID is not going to get it. And now you're telling us that even your state driver's license might not be the ticket to get you through traveling, even just domestically anymore.
Yes, traveling.
Yeah.
It costs, I think, $65. But it costs, but it's like your regular license, but it has more information on it now. So everyone go and check out this ID.
Okay.
If you don't have a passport.
All right. Good information to have, Judge Hines. I love you. I appreciate you so very much. And hopefully, prayerfully, if you're willing, I'm willing, we'll have a Tuesday tip from Judge Hines next week.
Yes, and guess what? With this driving thing in Philadelphia, in Virginia, they have certain lanes that you must drive in the morning with 2 or 3 people in your...
Right. Very confusing. I've been out there on the roadways coming from Virginia back into Maryland, and I'm confused.
I'll give you more information on that the next time I talk to you.
All right, Judge Hines, have a blessed day ahead now. You take care.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye. This is Daybreak on Word, and guess what? Word is going to be out in the community this morning, and I am just a little envious. Just a little bit envious this morning, because I love job fairs. I love job fairs, and in past years, in the good old days, I used to broadcast live from job fairs. One time, we did a job fair with Georgie Woods. Joey Temple, I know you can appreciate this one. You remember this. We did a job fair with Georgie Woods over at 4601 Market Street, back when 4601 Market Street was popping, and over 1,000 people signed in. We had the sheets. We had people signing in. 1,000 people showed up for that job fair that day. We had 100 employers out there that day. It was so exciting. Now, I'm going back years ago. So Georgie Woods, the guy with the goods, it was wonderful. But we did a ton of other job fairs over the years. I used to love being a part of organizing and putting together job fairs. But there is a job fair today on the campus of Temple University, and Brother Michael Robinson, Reverend Michael Robinson. He is the orchestrator for the job fairs for Temple University. He does a wonderful, wonderful job. And WURD's own, the rapping professor, who's also, he belongs to Temple University as a professor over there at Temple, Dr. Aaron Smith. He will be broadcasting his program, Wake Up with Word, live from Temple University this morning at that job fair. And so he's going to have a blast and a ball. And Troy Wilmore, he's going to be there holding it down as the producer for that show this morning on site, while Kawesa Mathis continues as the producer here. Now, I don't know if I can slip Wanda Davidson real quick, but there's a play. I think it's a free play. A lot of children are involved with the play. It's happening this weekend. Hey, Wanda, good morning. Talk fast.
Good morning. Okay, Vera is in Manayunk at that new theater that they have. I can't think of the name of it right now. But
Venice.
It's called Venice Island, thank you.
Yeah.
It's called Play the Good News. and it's free. And there are 6 siblings that are in the play out of the 7 or 8 children. And they were all adopted. They were in foster care. They were adopted to keep themselves busy. And they decided to turn their lives, make something out of their lives, and, considering their, where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be an awesome play. It's eventually going to Broadway.
What's it called? Again?
It's called Play That Good News.
Play That Good News.
Play That Good News. It's a must-see, and it's free. People can call me at 267-992-4183 if they want tickets for their families, their children, or their schools, or their organization.
And when is it, Sunday?
It's Sunday. Business hours starting at 1:30.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Maybe she can squeeze back in tomorrow and tell us some more about it real quick. We're going up on 7 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you. Love you, sis. Got to get out of here. Got to make way for the rapping professor. He comes next at 7 o'clock, everybody. Remember, life is fragile. Handle it with prayer. Mwah. Have a great day. Appreciate you.
Einstein Bariatrics wants to talk with you about how losing weight can impact every aspect of your life. They know